Help me make welcome His Excellency, the High Commissioner to the UK, Ambassador Sarafa Tunji Isola. Please celebrate him and put your hands together.
Can we be seated, please? But for the fact that I grew up among women, I would have been quite intimidated here today, because I look around and except the cameraman, I can't find any other man here. Okay, another speaker. On a lighter mood, in my family of 11, 2 men and 9 women. So, I'm in a familiar territory. Let me seize this opportunity to recognize the chairman or chairperson of WIMBIS, my sister, who has done well as the president of Nigeria British Chambers of Commerce. And I have no doubt in my mind that she will make a good account of herself on this one as well. But like I always tell people, there's no headless body and there's no bodiless head. So whatever we're talking about today have been made possible by her team and the entire women here today. So please, can you give yourselves a round of applause on that? We are here today, and I always say that when we have this kind of opportunity, there must be take home. We don't want to be told things we have learned in the university or many of the things that we can have online. When people come here, even pay to come here, they want take home, which is quite different from what they are used to, isn't it? So speakers here should endeavor, even though it's a Herculean task, should endeavor to ensure that whatever people are taking home here, at least, even if you say 10 things, let 2 or 3 things be fresh things for take home. And I'll try to work within that sphere. I don't know how many of you have read Obama's book, Audacity of Hope. Good. For those who have not read it, please go and buy it. When Obama started, nobody gave him a chance. And he broke history as the first black man to be president of the United States. And it's still a reference point. Maybe the only person in contemporary times that I can compare with him is Bill Clinton. But from Bill Clinton down, Obama still resonates today as the best president of the US. From the mindset of not being given a chance, still the reference point. Tomorrow, you see other presidential candidates coming from the Republican Party, the attack will always still be on Obama after having left the scene how many years ago. So, the Audacity of Hope teaches one thing: believe in self. That is what determines your failure or success in any project. And sometimes I do tell people that whatever we do must not be anchored on the basis of business alone. Whatever you do must be anchored on day-to-day living. Your family, the society, the business, and so on and so forth, because that's the essence of education. Education is not about reading and passing exams. It's about making sure that the education goes through you rather than you going through education. So whatever we have learned here today, we should not only apply it to business, we should also endeavor to apply it to our day-to-day living as applicable. So the believing itself entails 2 factors. And I want us to go away here with the foresight and the inner eye. On that, I will just share with you one of our case studies in an international marketing class. It happened to be, just in Britain here, it happened to be a shoe-making company whose market in Britain was getting saturated. And research actually shows that for the country to develop, for the company to develop, they have to go international. And further research still shows that one country has potentials for shoes. And one of the company representatives was sent to that country to go and work on the marketing potentials with a view of the company exporting shoes in the interim and building a shoe factory in that country. The representative of the company went and came back with a report that I visited this country. Nobody wears shoes here. So I can't see any potential for shoes. That is when you look at issues from your two eyes. The four eyes are not common, and that's what differentiates successful people and the others. Because you must think in such a way that many people will not think for you to be at the top. And getting to the top is quite easier than sustaining leadership at the top. We talk of Ibukun today. When did she start? How many people have come during her time? But she must be doing something different from what many people are doing. So for you to stay at the top there, you must start thinking of doing what billions of women all over the world are not doing. It's possible if you think in that direction. So another representative was sent because they went back to the research and they were still convinced that there is actually market potential in the place. And the second official went and came back with a report. Even the people here don't wear shoes. We can make them wear shoes, and the market potential is great. Can you see? The same situation, two different people. And actually, it's actually turned out to be one of the biggest markets for that company. So that is the issue of foresight and the inner eye. You must always apply it, not only to business, but to your day-to-day life. Sometimes you may think, oh, this is the best I've had. But just think that that best is even good. Continue to think until you have the best of the best, which is one of the ways to get to the top and to stay at the top. And where you have possibilities, there is one thing that is really important for success in business. And this business does not mean whether you're in the public sector or the private sector. Every activity should be just be designed as a program. And these things that I'll take you through, even though many of you do know it, but the application is important. Some do know, but they're not conscious of the applications of it. Whatever you want to do in life, you must have clear-cut objectives. Objectives must be attainable, must be precise, and must be time-bound within this period. And depending on what you want to do, these objectives can be classified into long-term corporate, long-term, medium-term, and short-term. You all know this. Depending on what you want to do, that's what will determine whether this is a long-term objective. And once it is designed, that is the first thing that you have to do. Whatever you want to do, particularly in business, you must there have your objective with clarity of purpose. So the second thing is what you also know, SWOT analysis. Whatever you want to do, look at the strengths that are inherent, that you have now. Look at your weaknesses, which you must admit. There's nothing as good as self-assessment. So what are the weaknesses? Of course, what are the opportunities that exist within the concept of what you want to pursue, and what are the threats? So in analyzing this SWOT analysis, most authors have confined it to what I call PESTEC factors. What are the political issues that will hamper the attainment of that objective? What are the economic objectives? What are the social objectives? what are the technological objectives, what are the environmental objectives, and what are the cultural objectives. Just an abbreviation. If you say PESTEC, you'll be able to come to it. Then you have to go to the strategy. In everything in life, even in your home, you must strategize at all times. Strategy is very important in the attainment of objectives. What do I do? Sometimes, marketing and pricing strategy, for example, is it scream the cream? Do we enter the market with a higher price, or is it penetration strategy? We lower the price now and increase later. You must strategize, and these strategies varies. Whether you are talking of the strategies will be anchored again on what I call the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are the product. This business that you want to do, what is it? Okay, you want to get involved in the service. What's the service about? It must be properly defined. So that will help you define the kind of customers that you need. And for the customers, you look at demographic, you look at the economic power, and all sorts of issues to be able to assure yourself that this product will sell. It's usually the saying that there's nothing that's as an idea whose time has come. So if you get the product right, then you go to the place. Place is always anchored on 2 issues: the channels of distribution of the product and the physical distribution management. So if you also have to sit down, all this entail, insight and deep thinking, because once you get all this right, of course, success is yours at the end of the day. But you must do all these things painstakingly. After getting the place, then you go to the issue of pricing. Of course, the essence of being in business from Peter Drucker to today is profit. It's only if you are talking of public service, then the primary objective could be service. So if you are in business for profit, the pricing must be such to cover your costs, both the known and unknown costs. Whether you are using the marginal costing approach or you are using your break-even analysis to look at your profit volume, do your profit volume analysis as well. So after the pricing, then the promotion. If you operate in a competitive environment, your promotion within the context of your unique selling proposition, USP, will determine whether the consumer will be able to buy the product. Then you also have to, within that context, you also have to look at the issue of both cognitive consonance and cognitive dissonance, because what's really sustains a business is the customer coming back. And where there's cognitive dissonance, that business will naturally die. So you must take interest in your cognitive consonance to ensure that the customer will keep on buying, because in their keeping on buying, that's what will sustain the business. And all of this, you must do periodic evaluation. You may think you are doing well. In actual fact, maybe you are even doing the least. So when you are in business, don't be comfortable with any position that you are in. Just always think that there's something better than that. That is on the business part. I must say that I always respect women. And I used to crack one joke at home that anytime I leave the house, I'm high commissioner. But when I step into the house, I'm husband. And as the husband, the best way to have peace in the house is to behave yourself. And know that you have Oga in that house. When you get to the office, you are the Oga. But when you come into the house, you have an Oga. And like I used to say, that one thing that is unique about women is that anyhow you want it, they'll give it to you. If you want it peacefully, you have it peacefully. If you want it the other way, hot, they'll be hitting you hard and you won't see what is hitting you. I used to remember a joke that a friend of mine cracked. He misbehaved. And when he came back the following day, the wife prepared 2 types of soup. The right one was taken by her. Of course, you people, you know your preference. Your children over your husband. Is there anybody that is different in that? No? Anybody? Husband first before children. Children first before husband, Abi? I happen to be a beneficiary of that, so I know. My mother preferred me. And my son used to tell me that, Daddy, you shouldn't worry because you're also a beneficiary of what we are benefiting from. So the second soup was meant for the husband. And, of course, very pepperish. Say, how is the food like this? And the wife just tasted it. We all ate the same food now. That's the power of women. If you don't respect women, and even possibly fear them, you'll be doing so at your own peril. So I pay my respect to women here. So, in the past, there used to be unnecessary rivalry among women, but I think with education, that one is going to gone past. Women are the enemy of women. We must appreciate that. Sometimes pettiness, unnecessary jealous, they don't make things happen. And we live in a world, especially in the business world, where soul trading cannot work. It's an archaic way of business. It's like owning 100% of zero and owning 5% of 100%, which is better. So you got to network, you got to work together, and you're better off with people that you have known over the years. At least you can fairly predict. Even when you reach out to other people, you must put it up in your, right there that the issue is not about who is more beautiful. The issue is not about who has a better home. The issue is not who has the best husband. It's not the issue. The issue is the business. And what you are bringing to the table is this, not emotion. So I need to caution women who still engage in that. Honesty, envy, and pettiness don't help. Because now you want to make it strictly women business. It's fine. But all these social cultural factors that can inhibit in that success, you must watch out for it. I wish you a successful conference. Thank you.